Hey everybody out there, welcome to another uh, monthly match. This time we're actually finally in a September one, wrapping up the August took a while. The September monthly, this is one of this is actually a top 8 match, and it's between two people that do a lot of work in the group. We've got Gabe Harris, or sorry, Gabe Farkas on a tweaked version of Deadguy Ale. He makes sure the monthlies run without me having to type in every single result. So glad he's here. Mike Harris is one of the trio of us doing the podcast. So I don't know who to cheer for. Uh, but other than that, um, ran out of time to put up the decks. But you've got basically a version of Dead Guy Ale versus Mike's Hermit FEB. So let's bring him in and get this thing started. Okay, guys, you're good to go. Oops, sorry.
One.
Okay, guys, you're good to go. Best
Right.
of luck and
All
talk to you at the end.
All right. I went to 6. Mike went to 5.
Yep, these two are going on bottom.
All right, man.
Good
Good
luck.
luck. And you're going to get the classic double maul into a duress.
All right, well, you have one option. So I have 3 creatures, a land, and a
So-
shallow grave.
ESG, Wall of Roots.
I'll play out.
Yeah. Hermit, Druid. I like writing it down, though.
Oh, yeah,
And
totally.
Yavimaya Coast. And then the Shallow Grave.
Correct.
All right, man. Good luck. Pass turn.
I
Good
will
luck. What
draw.
happened already?
Indeed. Interesting. So I am going to not be so risky. And I'm going to play the coast. I'm going to exile the spirit guide. I'll play the wall of roots.
Okay.
And then I am going to put a counter on it to play the bird that I just drew.
Sure. So you got just the Hermit in your hand.
Yes.
All right.
And I will pass to you.
All right. Planes.
Damn it.
And well, what do I want to do here actually? Don't want to wait. Uh, I'm gonna verdict you.
I don't believe there's anything I can do about that.
I don't know if that's the right move, but or just wait for you to play it, but I'll pass turn.
Untap.
Yep.
Draw. I will pass to you.
All right. I'll draw. Um, Go ahead.
End of your turn.
Yep.
I'll shallow grave.
Sure.
Druid comes into play. I'll put a counter
Well, hold
to-
on. Hold on.
Yes,
It's still,
it has
it's still,
haste.
yeah. Oh, it does?
With shallow grave.
Because it's
Yes.
shallow grave. Okay. And I guess you have priority, so I can't do anything between casting it and you activating it, right?
Right. So I've cast it. If it resolves.
Yeah. Well, I don't have counter spells, so go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. So I'll activate the hermit.
Sure.
All right. And you've seen my deck, so I don't have to explain it.
So the whole thing. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And you're just gonna order the top view, I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And so, yeah, just pause. Every
Of
time
course.
you're supposed to pause.
Yep. Absolutely.
Because I have some thoughts, but I don't know if they're gonna work. But we'll see.
Yes, you have every right to take every opportunity. Okay. Where are the last pieces? Unearth.
I guess you don't need to put the unearth anywhere. You just want to have it handy, right?
Yes.
Like it doesn't. Yeah.
Let me just make sure. Oh yeah, I'm forgetting one more thing.
You should mark the back of your card so it's easy to find them.
That's legal, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, that actually is part of the reason I love these altar sleeves. Certain cards are
sure.
much easier to find.
Yeah, I guess that's
Okay. So
true. I'm not the judge.
all right. So
All right.
I
So
will
what
do-
are the parts you put on top, just so I know? Like, what did you? What is like the top few that you actually ordered? You put Karmic Guide. You put Psychotog there. What else? Like, if we were in person, I would just ask you to look at your graveyard.
Hold on. I just realized something.
Yeah.
Oh, good. It's removed from the game with Shallow Grave. I was like,
Yeah.
this is the first time I've actually done this play, and I was like, wait a minute, does it
Okay.
go on top of my graveyard? That ruins my whole deck.
Yeah.
It's removed from the game, thankfully. Okay, so
Yeah.
I have placed Karmic Guide, Crows and Wreck,
Reclamation.
2 Unearths, Shapeshifter, Psychotog, Achroma, Cabal
Achroma.
Therapy.
Okay. Sounds
Right.
good.
All right. End of your turn. Hermit Druid's removed.
Mhm.
All right, go to my turn.
Mhm.
Upkeep.
Mhm.
I will. That was almost a huge misplay. Put another counter on the Wall of Roots and flashback the Crows and Reclamation.
Mhm. Mhm.
I will flashback 2 Unearths.
Mhm.
Go to my draw step.
Mhm.
Draw it.
Mhm.
Bird, cast on Earth, targeting the Shapeshifter.
Sure.
Shapeshifter comes into play. Trigger on the Karmic
Sure.
Guide. You do
This is
have
where
an
I want.
opportunity to respond now.
Yeah, I know. I'm just thinking if this is where I want to do it. Because I'm sure you do that. And the next step you're going to do after that is you're going to bring in the Psychoton. So the Karmic Guide trigger is going to happen as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll have a chance after to respond to the Karmic Guide when the Karmic Guide triggers on the stack, right?
The Karmic Guide trigger is on the stack now because the Unearth has
Oh,
resolved.
sure,
The
sure, sure, sure,
Shapeshifter
sure.
is in play.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to try to swords the Shapeshifter now.
Sure.
Yep.
It is a 0/1, so I gain no life. I still
Yep.
have the Karmic Guide trigger.
Yep.
I will use it to unearth the Karmic Guide.
Yep. Oh, so you can get around it that way.
Mm-hmm. And then I will pass to you.
Okay. But then doesn't that Karmic Guide get a trigger?
Oh, you're right. It does.
That's
Yeah,
what
I
I
haven't
thought you
had
were
to do
going to
this
do.
yet. So in that case, I will. What do I want to bring in?
I mean, I know what I would do if I were you, but
There's a couple of things that I could do. I've never been in this
Yeah.
situation. Thank you for reminding me.
Yeah, I mean, of course.
All right, I will use that to bring in a Mesmeric Fiend.
Sure. You'll see a Vindicate, a Tutor, and a Spectre.
I will take the Vindicate.
Okay.
And yeah, I think I just do that. I will sack the Wall of Roots to flashback a Cabal Therapy.
Yeah.
And even though I don't think it matters, I'll name Enlightened Tutor.
That's what I thought you were going to go for. Yep.
Mm-hmm. And then pass to you.
All right. I've got a blocker.
You do.
Although,
Although
well,
you don't.
yes, I know. All right. Go ahead.
All right. Untap upkeep. I will not pay the echo.
Yep.
Draw my unearth. Try to do it again. Unearth the other shapeshifter.
The other shapeshifter. Sure.
Karmic Guide triggers
Is it any different than it would be the first? Oh, because wait, why is Karmic Guide on the top of the?
because of the echo.
Oh, you
I
just let it go from the echo. Got it.
Mm-hmm.
That's convenient.
Mm-hmm.
All right, go for it.
All right.
Let's show
So
the
Karmic
people how
Guide
it's done.
triggers.
I don't know if you
I-
know, there was some discussion on the Discord about how this deck works. So
Yes. So I will play it through. Those guys are all removed. So then I will sack the. You have an empty hand.
yep.
I will sack the Psychotog to flashback a Cabal therapy.
Although for the record, you have one more Cabal therapy you could use on the birds, right?
Yes.
If you needed to.
But it would be a terrible idea because then
Yeah.
I want Psychotog on top.
Yeah. Oh, that's true.
I will name swords.
Yep.
So now what I'm going to do, do you mind if I just shortcut and just remove everything?
Sure, go for it.
I'll remove everything except the Achroma.
Yep.
And attack you
With
with a giant.
the Psychotog, with the
With the
shapeshifting
Psychotog, it gets all the +1/+1,
Yep.
and then attack you with an Achroma with all that +1/+1.
Here's my question though for you. Are you
Mhm.
sure you have an even number of cards in your graveyard?
If you would like me to count, I will.
No, I mean, well,
That's
got
why I
1,
was
2,
saying
3, yeah.
if you don't mind me shortcutting, but I will definitely count.
Well, no, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You just have to count everything else.
1, 2, 3, 4,
Jesus,
5.
I'm telling you how your deck works better than you.
Well, I've never had anyone stop me.
I know.
On this
I'm just
point.
I'm just giving you a hard time.
3,
Yeah.
4,
4,
5,
5,
6,
6,
7, 8, 9,
8,
10,
9,
11,
10,
12.
12.
So
yeah,
yes,
so
50 cards exactly.
yeah,
So it got
yeah,
plus
so you'd be
25,
good.
plus 25, and I attacked with
It's pro
a
black.
31/31 Achroma with pro
So
black.
this guy can't even block. You got it,
and
man.
Trample and flying.
You got it.
And first strike.
All right. On to fun sideboards.
Yes, indeed. Onto a sideboard that is not nearly as ideal as my current sideboard for the deck.
All right, let's see here. The shapeshifter comes in as the other creature, right?
Yes,
it's never actually a shapeshifter.
It's only a shapeshifter when it's on the stack.
Yeah. Okay.
And if you do not have a creature as your top card. That actually is something that people don't always remember. They think it's your top creature in your graveyard. It is literally
I know.
only the top card of your graveyard.
Yep. All right. Is there an avatar? Oh, I would guess it doesn't. Do you mean Achroma though? He's because he's playing Achroma.
This is a classic Andrew non sequitur.
Yeah. I thought about what to put in, but did not think about what to take out. So let's see here.
Yeah, I kind of did likewise. And that Shallow Grave was a totally lucky top deck. Like
I know. I was gonna say.
You seriously, you had that.
I think I had it otherwise, right? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Would the other thing have mattered? The getting to use the Karma Guide? I guess you cleaned out my hand that way.
What do you mean?
With the Karmic Guide flashing in the Mesmeric Fiend.
That was just to make sure you didn't have another swords.
Yeah. All right. I thought you were going to flash in the use the Karmic Guide to bring back a chroma and just start swinging, or bring back the other shapeshifter.
I couldn't have done that because the Karmic Guide wasn't on top, and I wouldn't have been able to do the Psychotog trick. And then it has to be in play for a turn. So if you draw swords there,
Yeah. Well, I guess, yeah, okay, right. Mesmeric being like made sure the path was clear, I guess.
exactly. It's the classic combo deck that needs to make sure the coast is all right, especially when I have one card in my library. It was like I couldn't take any chances. I had to just. And then also that let me see your hand, so I knew if I needed to Cabal Therapy.
Yeah. All right. Let's see here. Hopefully, I could put up more of a fight. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
And take a UB on the play.
Yes, sir.
Sounds good.
Um. I'll put this back.
Okay.
The other thing too, it's like because your deck is not totally reliant on Hermit Druid, you can go the survival route.
This is true.
So,
Oh my god, that is the best hand ever if it has more than one land.
well, you put in the extra land for the 62, so you never know if you could try.
I did, right?
So what was you did put in one extra card and one extra land?
Yes.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh my god, seriously?
Is that a broken sleeve? Oh, I have a quite broken sleeve.
Uh-oh.
Let me just replace that real quick.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'll keep the 6.
All right. So I am on my Mall 2/6. Hopefully I will keep this one. The good thing about this deck is oftentimes there are things that you're just like, I will gladly put that on bottom. Like, I don't know if you saw when I picked up the deck, but it was Great Whale and Karmic Guide.
I saw that, yeah. At the very
Yes.
bottom was Great Whale.
So it's like I don't even need these when I'm doing the Hermit win.
Yeah. Have you looked at like Sutured Ghoul?
It definitely was a consideration. About 2 months ago, I started getting weird and like trying to brew all sorts of different things.
Yeah.
The problem with Sutured Ghoul is that you really need to be running like the Dreadnought package or something to get that power all the way up. But the other problem is that Unearth is just such a fantastic reanimate spell. And this deck has a lot of pain lands. So reanimating for 8 life can be
Yeah.
your death?
Well, so no, what I meant was you have Sutured Ghoul on top of your graveyard, or you have
Shallow
basically
grave.
no, basically you have a way for Shapeshifter to enter the battlefield as a Sutured Ghoul, and then you
That's
can
true.
exile. You can do that. That helps you clean out your graveyard as well, and then you can so that you use all the creatures on that, and then you use Psychotalk to clear out the rest of the cards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess I never really thought about it that way, but all right, I'm going to put this one back.
Yeah,
I'll have to
I mean,
think about
I'm
that
sure.
when
I'm sure
when
there's
my
something
brain
like
is more. There's
one of
probably a
us. Yeah,
reason that I'm forgetting at the moment why I didn't go that route.
chat. Think through the steps and the mechanics. I'm sure there's something I'm missing.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is having enough power and toughness, like I say. Like
Yeah.
there's not that much in the deck.
Yeah. No, you're right.
I just realized I
But
didn't.
like, go ahead.
Oh, neither of us took any life that.
Correct. Yeah. So my notepad was very sparse.
All right, so you're up.
All right. Yeah, man. I'm just gonna go snow covered swamp this time into a duress.
All right. Well, you're taking what you wanted to take, a survival. This
Okay.
time
So
I
you
have
get a
2 druids.
survival druid times 2, birds of paradise, gemstone mine, and what is that?
Brushland.
Brush. Oh, the 6th edition.
7th.
7th. That's right. Yeah. All right, man. I'll get the survival. Go ahead.
All right. Drop.
Oh God. I
Um,
don't like it when you spend time thinking.
I am just going to play the bird, going to 19.
All right.
And pass to you.
All right. On tap, I'll draw. Undiscovered Paradise.
Mhm.
And Shallow Grave is 3 to cast?
2.
2. Okay. Ah. You have 4 in hand.
Mm-hmm.
Um. Yeah, I'll verdict you.
All right. Well, I will pitch a Hermit and a Cabal Therapy.
Oh, great. Lucky
Good.
you. Yeah, go ahead.
Untap. Draw. I'll play a city.
Mm-hmm.
I will cast the Hermit Druid.
Mm-hmm.
Just think a second here. Yeah, I'm going to sack the birds to flashback Cabal Therapy.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
I will name swords.
You got a Vindicate, a Seal, and a Negator.
Okay. You may go.
All right. And this comes back. And I'll draw.
Mhm.
Um. I'll replay the Undiscovered Paradise.
Okay.
I'll just plow it now.
That's great draw. I will go back.
Shallow Grave. One good Shallow Grave deserves another. Go ahead.
Indeed. Back up to 20. Untap. Drop.
This is really tightening me on mana though, so it gives you a long runway.
I will play Gemstone.
Mhm.
And
I mean, you got just to be honest with you, you
I'm
probably
gonna
have
say go.
a good 3 or 4 turns before you have to worry about anything. 'cause- right?
Yep.
Go ahead. You got 1 in hand, right?
1 in hand.
Yep.
Drop. Hmm. I will go to 19 and therapy you.
Interesting. All right.
And
You
I'll
know
take
my whole hand.
I will take the Vindicate.
Yep.
And your go.
All right. I'll run out a negator.
You got it.
And go ahead.
Tap. Drop.
You have 2 in hand.
2 in hand, yes.
Okay.
Play a reflecting pool.
Mhm.
And I'll just pass to you.
All right. This comes back. I'll draw for turn.
Mhm.
I'll attack.
I'll go to 14.
You were at 20 again, unless you used.
I took
another-
one from the city.
Oh yeah. Yep. Thank you. Hmm. I'll replay that and let me look at your list again. What did you bring in? Is that a Crater Hellion?
That is
Is that the one that does
for
damage
to
when it comes
each
into
other
play?
creature. Mhm.
When it comes into play.
Yes.
Oh my god, I've made a huge mistake. But I'm going to go like this, and I'm going to play Engineered Plague.
Sure. What do you name?
And I'm going to name Druids. Hermit Druid is a Druid, I'm assuming.
Yes.
All right.
Sounds good.
Go ahead.
Drop. This isn't a great play, but I think I gotta. Actually, yeah. I'll take a point going to 13,
Mhm.
and I'll cast a shapeshifter.
Just an 0-1?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
I'll sack it to flashback Cabal Therapy.
Sure.
And I'll name Seal.
Sure. The other card's a Dark Ritual.
Okay, you go.
All right. This comes back.
Mhm.
Wasn't a bad play.
No.
So you have 1 in hand.
1 in hand.
All right. I'll attack.
I will go to 8.
This cannot happen quick enough. Play out of caves.
Okay.
2 in hand. Go ahead.
Tap. Draw.
I still don't feel even remotely safe.
That is too funny. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to pass to you.
All right. Untap. I'll play out the Paradise. I'll attack for 5.
3.
Man, what I would kill for a Carvex Spite right now.
I don't think I have much chance, to be honest.
Yeah. I'll pass turn with 2 in hand. One of them, you know.
Sounds good. Draw. Ooh, doggy.
Uh-oh.
That is hilarious.
Uh-oh.
I will cast Cabal Therapy, targeting myself.
Uh-oh. All right.
Actually, wait. Maybe this doesn't work.
Take your time.
So I guess this is a rules question, Andrew. Does the card that I'm discarding go on top or on bottom of the Cabal Therapy? So I'm going to Cabal Therapy targeting myself. Does the card I'm about to name go when it goes to the graveyard? Is the Cabal Therapy on top or is the card on top?
I can tell you what I would think.
Yeah, what do you think, Gabe?
Because everyone says when a card, happens is that the card goes in the graveyard as the last thing.
Right. So the
So
creature
I
would
would
be
think
under the therapy.
Yeah, so I would think the therapy ends up on top. I mean, I'm not trying to. Obviously, that's in my favor, but that's genuinely what I would think. No, I said genuinely.
Can I Google?
Mhm.
Because I'm pretty sure that's what happens too. I just really like to know.
See what chat says too.
They're all watching the PSS.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot about that.
Hey guys out there, just checking if you heard the rules question and had any input as to what card, how the stacking of the 2 resulting cards is. It should be a general enough question.
Yeah, you would think that this would be somewhere online.
Well, no, because graveyard order doesn't matter anymore, right?
Ooh. You had to bring that up.
I mean, in modern magic, it doesn't mind. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter anymore, right?
Well, yeah. If it's more than one card, I think, or I don't think it's more than two. I think it's just more than one. The player whose deck's modified gets to put them in the order.
If they all go in this, yeah.
So if you like Emperor Laquadist somebody multiple times, it'd be a pack of 3 ordered, a pack of 3 ordered.
All right, you know what? My gut says that that's the way it works too, so
Yeah.
I'm just going to concede.
Okay. Negator goes all the way. You sure?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to waste everyone's time sitting trying to figure out a weird rule.
I'll still keep looking because it's. I mean, it should be. I'd assume it's.
I mean, that's
too.
my gut too.
Mhm.
But it's like you say, Gabe. The spell resolves last.
Yeah.
So it goes in the graveyard last. I mean, that has to be the way it works.
That seems like it has to be.
Yeah.
You wouldn't
I
want it
was
to
just
work
thinking
one way for
because
some
of
cards.
the whole thing
another.
about like when things go to the graveyard at the same time, like when you get milled, you
Yep.
get to pick the graveyard order. But I think this is a different situation because this is a resolving spell.
No,
and
yeah. Always, like, it actually just came up in the rules thing on the Discord anyway. Recently that people. I mean, that's like a common thing that like the last thing that happens with a spell is that the spell itself goes to the graveyard.
goes to the graveyard.
Mm.
Exactly. That's why the unearth
I'm not phrasing it right.
works with the shapeshifter, and I get a trigger.
Yeah.
Because if the unearth was in the graveyard when it resolved, I wouldn't get a trigger.
Yeah, here's someone wrote it earlier today. Costs are paid during casting activation. For example, the cost of activating Pernicious Deed is X after Pernicious Deed. Once all costs are paid, the spell or ability goes on the stack. Then a triggered ability is triggered in that process, such as Compost are put on the stack. The stack will resolve, so the Compost triggers first, blah, 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 then the card goes to the graveyard.
Yep. All good. It was going to be a sweet play, but I conceded to not reveal more information, and I will tell you guys what it was after the match.
Yeah, of course. What could you have put in the creature? Well, how many cards did you have in your hand besides Cabal Therapy?
Two others.
You had 2 others. Okay, so one of them was a Shallow Grave, or one of them was a Shapeshifter. And then it's like, what would the Shapeshifter become?
Argothian Enchantress.
Yeah. No, it would have been something. I mean,
Something that does something.
The Crater Hellion would have been hilarious. Oromancer could have been interesting. Shield Sphere.
Well, Ornament, I didn't have any enchantments in my yard.
Oh,
Oh no,
true.
you had made me duress the survival. I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stop
true.
slow playing me.
But I had
I'm kidding.
I had enough mana to cast an Oromancer.
Oh,
I mean, it's still. Yeah, I still wouldn't have won because you would have trampled over for 3. But
yeah,
and I didn't have enough mana to cast and activate survival.
Yeah.
Okay, so I will be on the play.
Yep.
Good to go. Good luck, sir.
It's not like PSS where they're pulling up our decks in between and talking about them.
That's going to be a mulligan on my side.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'll actually keep this one.
Okay. Someone kept a 7. All right. Let's hope 6 is better. Okay, I'll keep this one.
All right, man.
And let's see. I shall bottom. It's actually a tough call. I think I have to bottom you.
No, I'm sitting here with my cards, flicking them.
Have I been good this game so far?
Yeah. I haven't
Mostly because
noticed.
my hand's been on the board.
Yeah.
After you duress first turn.
Yeah.
Ah, shit. Okay, yeah. I think I have to bottom you.
It's all gonna end up in the graveyard anyway.
We all do, right?
Yeah. Dust to dust. Ashes to ashes. Well,
You
no,
know
those
what?
exile.
You know what? Yeah, I am going to play it safe. I'm going to put you on the bottom.
Okay.
Sorry. Sorry, this is a hard call.
Yeah, man. Take your time. I'll
yeah,
just sit here staring at my hand, filled with regret that I didn't mulligan, actually.
I think I bottomed this one, actually. Okay, I will bottom that. Ready?
Yeah.
Gemstone Mine. Bird.
All right.
Your go.
Oh, that works out well, actually. All right. So that actually works out really well. I'll go swamp. I will dark ritual.
Okay.
I will duress.
Yep. Shapeshifter, bird, survival, cabal therapy.
Shapeshifter, bird, survival, cabal therapy. Oh man.
Having turn one duress in that game is pretty solid.
I had to mull for it. But that's not even the best. That's not even why I kept this hand. I'll take the survival.
Yep.
And then the reason I kept the hand, Withered Wretch. Go ahead.
That's a great hand.
Yes, it was a one lander though, so we'll see.
Draw. I will therapy you.
Sure.
And I will name swords.
Masticore, Arena, Vindicate, and I drew the planes.
Nice.
I was going back and forth. I didn't think first turn Arena made much sense.
Yeah.
Not like the life matters, but like I'd rather get the Wretch out there.
Mm-hmm. For sure, for sure. And then let's go down to one and play the other bird.
Sure. And Shapeshifter is 3 to cast or 4?
3.
Okay.
I'll pass to you.
All right. Untap.
Mm-hmm.
I'll draw. I will play this.
Mm-hmm.
I will attack for 2.
18.
And I will remove the Cabal Therapy from your graveyard.
That's a good removal.
And pass the turn.
All right. Untap. Drop. Yeah, I think I gotta just do it.
Attack with the birds.
No. I'll play Druid.
Okay.
And I'll pass to you.
Tap. Well, I had one open. I'll just remove the survival at the end of your turn. If that's all right.
Mhm.
Yeah. Draw. Let me think for a second.
Sure.
3, 4. You have 2 in hand.
Yes.
Okay. I'll attack.
No box. 15.
15. All right. Post combat. Dark Ritual.
Sure.
I'll use 2 of them and a white to vindicate the druid.
Sure.
And then I'll use the other one to remove the druid from the yard. And that's all my mana, right?
Yep.
Pass turn.
Tap. Draw. Reflecting Pool.
Yep. That's pretty good.
Not great. I will pass to you.
Okay. You said Shapeshifter's 3 to cast.
Yes. 2 blue and a colorless.
All right. Play a swamp. I'll attack.
13.
And go ahead.
Sure. Your turn.
Nothing's in your graveyard, right?
Correct.
Okay. Can't remove nothing. I'll attack for 2.
11.
I mean, it's a slow death. I'll play a plains, and then I'll play an arena.
Sure.
And go ahead. One swamp. I mean, one plains open.
Okay. Draw.
You have the shapeshifter and then 2 more
3
in
more.
your hand.
Now.
3
more.
more. Uh-oh. That's a lot.
I'll cast a Psychotog.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Right. Untap.
Mhm.
I will go to 19 for Marina.
Okay.
Draw for Marina. Draw for turn. And you've got 3 in hand, so you can go
3 in hand. Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4. 4 pumps. Okay. Play a reflecting pool.
Okay.
And you don't have any land destruction, right? You don't have any wastelands. I'll play out the Masticore.
Sure.
And go ahead.
Untap. Draw.
Yep. Have you actually won with just like a Psychotog?
I'm sorry.
Have you ever won with like just a Psychotog?
Maybe yeah, once. You know, when the
Okay.
game plan has to change.
Yeah.
You have 2 cards in hand.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and cast the shapeshifter.
Okay.
And I will say go.
It's 2 to activate its ability.
Correct.
Okay. All right. I'll untap. I'm going to stack it so that I draw from the arena before the master core.
Sure.
So I'll go to 18 from the arena. That's a tough decision, actually. And I'll pitch a negator.
Sure.
And then I'll draw for turn.
Okay.
And then I'll play a Wasteland.
Okay.
Now get rid of your Gemstone Mine.
That's a good one. In response, I'll tap it for green.
Okay. Go to combat.
Sure.
And so you have how many cards in hand?
3.
Okay. So again, you can. Okay. So I'm going to. We're still like before attacker's declared.
Yep.
I'm going to shoot the shapeshifter with the master core.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. And then, so you have 2 cards in your graveyard now?
2 in my graveyard, 3 in my hand.
Okay. I'm trying to think if I can push this through or not. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't think we're there yet. I'm going to not do anything else in combat.
Okay.
And then post combat, I'm going to exile the shapeshifter from your graveyard.
Sure.
And I'll just pass the turn.
Okay. Untap.
Yep.
Draw.
This is turning into an interesting game.
I'll say go.
All right. End of your turn. I'm going to exile the land from the graveyard. All right. Untap. I'll start with 2 in hand. Triggers on the stack. Anything else during upkeep?
Nope.
Okay. I'll draw from arena. Go to 17. And then I'll pitch a Undiscovered Paradise and Master.
Okay.
And then I'll draw for turn. Vindicate the Psychotalk.
Sure.
I'll go to attacks.
Sure.
I'll attack with the Master.
I will go to 7.
All right. And then I will just exile the Psychotog now. Just it makes me
In
super nervous.
response,
Sure.
I'm gonna Crozan Reclamation it.
Oh, okay. That's awesome.
I mean, I'm really swinging for the fences here.
Yeah.
Is
You have
pretty well out of my hands.
I don't know about that, but
It's yeah.
you can. I mean, you can survival into Squee, into a Chroma or whatever. Like, I don't know.
Things have to go
I will
right
tell
for
you,
me.
I feel never safe against a deck like this.
That is a very fair way to feel. However, I think you've pretty much got this one locked up.
Well, we'll see.
All right. So you're still.
I'm gonna pass the turn after that.
Okay. Untap. Drop.
I think that Wasteland might have been the play of the game, but we'll see. Or the card of the game.
It definitely makes it a lot harder for me to win.
I can't tell you how many times in like actual 1999 I would Wasteland the Reflecting Pool and then afterwards feel like an idiot.
I'm gonna cycle in on Earth.
Yeah, man. The alternate mode.
Play a city.
Sure. Now you're back.
And cards in hand?
2.
I'll pass to you.
Reclamation flashback is 3 or 2?
2. Same cost as the regular card. 1 colorless, 1 green.
Okay. End of your turn, I'm going to exile the Unearthed.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. See, I thought about it. All right. Arena's to trigger. I'll go to 16.
16.
Draw there. Oh, man. I will discard a Swamp to Mastercore. Draw for turn. You have how many in hand?
3.
Right. I normally don't feel bad, but I kind of do now. I'm going to verdict you. Two in hand after that.
I'll pitch 2 Hermits.
Oh, okay.
You just shoot him with Masticore anyway. I'm not too sad to see him go.
That's fair. I'll swing for 4. Well, I'll swing for 6.
That brings me to 1.
And then I'll just go ahead and
shoot a bird.
Oh, I screwed this up.
You've got this, man. Just just put me out of my misery.
I was gonna exile one of the Hermits right now.
That's fine.
But go ahead.
Drop.
I should have exiled the Reclamation before getting rid of the Hermits. Or verdicting.
Oh my gosh. Can't believe happened now. Don't think there's anything I can do. Yeah, it's too little too late. I drew the survival last. No, because I have to cast it with 2. I'm at 1, so I can't use the city. I have to activate it for 1. What am I gonna get?
Oh yeah. You can't. Oh, so it's a good thing I attacked with the Withered Wretch, because that's I had another Masticore. I was holding on to the Dark Ritual in case you had something where you can get rid of the Masticore, and I could sneak regenerate it.
Yeah, no, I
like the Hellion
turn
or something.
1 Withered Wretch is really like I'm screwed. I mean, I have ways out, but not many. and basically everything has to go. The fact that it was turn 1 Ritual Duress Withered Wretch
Yeah.
was really like, I don't think I can recover from that. Because
Yeah.
I
I
had
mean,
a
that was
kick-ass hand, by the way. My hand was like, I mean, aside from the fact that it was a one-lander, it was like bird, therapy, survival, right? Because you took it with the duress.
Yep. Yeah. Oh my god, my next 2 cards were E-Plagues.
6. Yeah. Actually, I don't think Engineer Plague is really helpful at that point because like you had the
No,
Master
you're
Core
right.
out, so
Yeah,
no
yeah.
Hermit is gonna make it.
Yep.
And that's why I didn't just cast them just
No,
to
you're right.
take 2 mana from you, because I was like, well, these can be survival pitches if I ever get one.
Yeah.
Didn't
No,
happen.
you're 100% right. Yeah.
Gabe,
But yeah,
any reason you left the birds on game 3 so long? I was thinking you would have shot those ASAP and just
I
went
was
in.
thinking that too. I'm surprised you didn't shoot those, especially when I was out of mana.
Yeah.
No, I will tell you exactly why, actually, because I was very leery of, like, I wanted to make sure I had mana open to in case, like, because Mike, your deck's gonna go off all of a sudden, right?
You need
And so
the Wretch mana open.
right,
I
that's exactly
totally
what it
get
was.
that.
I was like, let me, because I saw what you did in your last match. I saw what you did in game 1. So I'm like, he can just, it's like an oops I win deck. And
Right,
so like
totally.
I want to make sure, and that's why I kept the Dark Ritual in my head. I want to make sure I have mana, as much mana as I possibly need to activate Wretch in response to this, to activate Wretch in response to Abeyance, which I knew you brought in to, you know what I mean? Like no matter what, I want to be able to use my Wretch.
Yep.
So that second game, it was in fact the Hellion.
Yeah.
And so I'm sitting there, like my last draw was the Cabal Therapy, because I'm sitting there with Hellion, Unearth, and a Shapeshifter in my yard. And I'm thinking, if I could just get this Hellion into the yard somehow. And then I draw the Therapy, and I'm like, there's my answer. But then it was like, oh, yeah, that's not going to work. That
Wait,
happens.
what was the answer? Oh, the Hellion, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to Therapy myself to put Hellion in.
My God.
And if it had been on top, you know, but I had no creatures, so I couldn't flash it back. Like, it was just not doable.
Yeah. So
but
those are
your
the
deck
three
is
you
a
brought
very hard matchup for mine, because you just have so much removal and discard. It's like I got to play around so many things. Things really just kind of have to go right for me.
So it's funny, this came up recently. I don't remember where I was discussing, but like Deadguy hates playing against discard. Like turnabout is fair play, and it's funny, but like the Cabal therapies, like especially with the flashback, just ruins my hand, and I'm like scared to tap out against you, and like
you have so many 3 mana cards.
Yeah, there's a weird like pressure of like I want to play out threats because I want to close the game quickly, but I don't want to tap out against you because I want to hold up mana for a Disenchanter of Swords. And so like I will tell you that, at least from my point of view, the matchup feels a lot closer than you're making it out to be.
No, it's not a blowout. It's just a tough match is all I'm saying.
It's
like
55-45.
Right. Like this deck absolutely excels at any non-interactive deck that isn't super duper fast aggro. So like Goblins and Sly it has trouble with. But if you go like turn 2 Wild Mongrel against me, I am so happy.
Oh yeah. Please bring me down to 4 life or whatever. I don't care.
Right, exactly. Okay, so I have to play around Circular Logic and that's it?
yeah, exactly. No, I hear you.
So
but like, and that's something you can therapy away, right?
Right.
And if they Circular Logic your therapy, good for you.
Yeah, and Withered Wretch is absolutely the best graveyard hate against me.
Yeah, for sure.
Because all the other ones I can play around more easily. You know how many times I've baited an early Crypt activation and then killed next turn. Like, I mean, it's so easy because people think like, oh, his squee is in the yard right now. I got to get that. And it's like, please take the squee.
Squee is not what kills you. Yeah.
Squee is not
I will say, I mean, I've been saying for a while, I think I said this to Jared at one point, like Withered Wretch is like, it is my favorite sideboard card in this format by far.
Yeah,
Like
it's fantastic.
it's so good. It's better than Furnace. It's better than Crypt. It's better than so many things. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's just because it's selective and it doesn't. The fact that it doesn't tap to use it
Yeah.
Right.
is just incredible.
Yeah. I remember
So
talking about it when we were talking discard cards, and it's like
Yeah.
my main comment between looking at like tour mods to what Phyrexian, I'm blanking on the name.
Furnace.
Furnace, yeah, and
Yeah.
Wretch. You did it how I hope people play it. It's like if you're gonna play it against me, show me that you're using it. Usually, I get people playing, and it's like, duh, I'll swing with a bear, and then I go
Yeah.
end of
Well,
turn, and
you
they're
have
like,
nothing
oh,
relevant in your yard, so I'm not
Yeah.
going to activate it.
I've made that mistake plenty of times myself, so I will say that. But
Mm.
like,
Yeah.
yeah.
it's just always funny seeing a bear
No,
not
it's
be used. It's like, come on.
it is funny when they print like. So I feel like in the early days of Magic, they did this a lot more, where they would print like a super interesting relevant ability,
Mhm.
and then make the creature very high casting cost and make it like a 3/4 or something.
Yeah,
It's like, what are you supposed to do with that?
yeah,
Right. Exactly.
But like this feels like,
yeah, once they started printing hate bears.
Mm.
yeah.
So yeah, these 3 cards in particular are coming right out.
Oh,
They
yeah.
ended up
Oh,
not
of
being
your
very
sideboard,
great.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, see, I
Mhm.
think Abeyance would have been good here.
So the problem with Abeyance is its best use is with the Hermit Druid kill.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
And with
yeah.
the Hermit Druid kill, you're usually trying to get that win in on like turn 3. And
Okay.
so you just don't want to build up the mana to it.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Of
Yeah.
let's see, I've played this with Abeyance. Maybe this monthly was the first one. And it never came in handy because all the times that I needed it, I didn't have it in hand.
Right.
And all the times that I did have it in hand, I didn't need it. Because with the survival win, you basically are already playing around all the things that Abeyance is going to help.
Yeah.
So
Well, so like turn 3, you said you're probably gonna have what, 4 or 5 mana, right? And if you spend 2 of that on an Abeyance already, right? That's the fewer survival activations, and then you have to go for like a Great Whale shenanigans and
well, and like I said, with the survival win, you don't even need it. Like you just, if you have the 5 mana, you have all the mana you need to go off without passing priority.
Yeah.
You know, so
like you said, it's like win more if you're already in a good enough position. Yeah.
Right.
Honestly,
the only times I ever used it was basically to cycle it.
Okay. Interesting.
You know, and it's not even a time walk. You know, I mean,
No.
I'm not even talking about the old-fashioned. You couldn't tap lands with it when it was first printed. I mean, literally, like I would cast against someone, and they're like, okay, I can still cast creatures, I can still attack. Like it's not stopping me from doing much of anything.
Oh, you don't cast it on your own turn.
Well, the times I had to cycle it.
Okay, gotcha.
You know, because it was like there's nothing on my turn that I need to prevent from happening, and I just need to get to my win cons, and this card is not doing that. Exactly like you said, it's a win more. It's like it doesn't actually.
So it does turn off Wretch.
Right. Why I brought it in against you.
Yeah.
So it
But
totally could have worked against you had I had it in hand. B, gotten the Hermit Druid. But against your deck, it's like, how likely is it that a Hermit Druid is going to live for a turn? Yep. Especially if we're talking about, and this goes back to my original point, if we're talking about the point where I have enough mana, unless I have the Unearth naturally in hand, then I only need the 2 mana to go off. Yeah. However, if not, I need 3 mana because I have to flashback with the Crow's End Wreck.
Okay.
I need 4 mana if I'm activating the Druid on my upkeep. So then you got to add 2 more for Abeyance to happen there. In that instance, where I'm up to 6 mana, that means that you probably have an active Masticore at that point.
Yeah.
You know, and I have to naturally have the Abeyance in hand. I can't activate Druid and flash it back. Like it just is not right for this deck.
I guess. Well, but is Chant better?
No.
Okay.
It's really not.
So So then,
You know what?
like,
I ended up honestly, and I know I'm not normally I want to play it close to the vest,
yeah.
but
No,
I
no,
am
no,
in
no.
the
I'm
fall
not asking
brawl,
for. Yeah,
and
yeah, 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 yeah.
Andrew himself is one of my opponents,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't want to
Yeah,
say
no,
what I
no, no.
replaced it with, but
It
I
won't
will say this
matter.
much: I replaced it with something that is completely different from Abeyance.
Sure. So
And not only that, I replaced it with something that would have been far more helpful in this match.
Okay.
yeah. Well, I'll tell you the one thing
Not
that
seed
comes to
time.
my mind. I don't. It would not have been helpful in this match, I don't think. But the one thing that comes to my mind is it monomaze, where you can't cast the same color spell twice in a row, right?
No. How much is that to cast?
3 in a blue.
Monomaze.
Maybe.
It's like
Was it
something
an
like that.
enchantment?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't see why that would be helpful.
Yeah. Because they can't counter your shapeshifter, for instance.
Oh, it's
Yeah, it's
mm,
monomaze.
Yeah,
there you go, but
I have way better ways of making the shapeshifter not
yeah. No, it's fair.
able
I
to
mean,
come into
yeah.
play.
The redundancy or the resilience with clearing out the hand with Cabal Therapy is just that's what makes that deck tick.
Exactly, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I will also say this: these are the two cards that are coming out of the main.
The coast, one coast. Oh, you didn't like Intuition?
It did win me one game one. However,
I saw you last match. You did the Intuition for the 3 unearths.
no, last match
sure.
I didn't. No, I'm sure I
Okay.
didn't. I didn't cast
Okay.
an intuition last match.
Okay.
Because the thing is, since this deck, I'm flicking my cards. Can you not hear it because of the
No, I can't.
Yeah, I couldn't.
the
hear.
microphone, the awesome microphone? You can't
Fantastic.
tell. I'm flicking
Yeah.
my cards.
Yeah.
And see, I
like a
wasn't even
proof
thinking about it.
I'm
But
doing it too.
no,
Yeah.
the thing about intuition, the thing about this deck in particular, and the reason, like I said, I got crazy with the brewing. I
Mhm.
started brewing so many different FEB variants, Druid variants, just trying to, and not even so much what you're talking about, of just jamming a ton of combos in,
Yeah.
but
yeah.
rather just thinking about like angles that I hadn't thought of, seeing like what could be done. And the reason I still think this is probably the best build, at least it is to me, is the access to white mana and Enlightened Tutor. Because most of the time in FEB, Intuition is a search for 3 survivals.
Yeah.
Enlightened Tutor is just such a better way to
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
However, the other mode on Intuition that is most relevant for FEB, and the way I won a game one was against Landstill. I intuitioned at the end of his turn. He chose not to counter it because he assumed that I was getting 3 survivals.
Yeah.
Instead, I got 3 Cabal therapies.
Okay.
So I now have 4 Cabal
Yeah.
therapies
Yeah.
to cast against him. Just rip apart his hand. He has no counters. He has no swords left. The coast is as clear as it can possibly be.
So I would have thought intuitioning for the unearths and the shallow graves is where it's at.
So sometimes you will do tricky things like intuition for an unearth, an oromancer, and a survival, or like stuff like that.
Sure.
But the other thing is it's 3 mana, and
Yeah.
this deck is so low to the ground.
Yep.
And the only time it's not low to the ground is when you have a survival out and you want a ton of mana. So just having to wait those extra turns, having to basically tap out early for it. It's and again, in regular FEB, intuition is fantastic. In fact, let me just show this off. Our fellow co-host, Mr. Jared Doucette, sent me these for the gauntlet.
Nice.
Intuition 2 and 3 for me.
Nice.
Because I did in fact get FEB, and I
Yeah.
plan on playing FEB Classic.
Yeah.
FEB
Classic.
Now I had a question for you, Mike. You said you went through all these iterations of FEB to try to come up with one that you felt was most optimized with Hermit or however. But you told us you don't have time to work on things. I'm guessing when you work on looking at
This was
Feb
over
variants.
the summer months when work was slow.
I was assuming it was like
Yeah.
you go to sleep and instead of counting sheep, you're counting Feb variants.
Andrew's throwing
Yeah.
shade
Yeah, I hear
because
you.
this entire past 2 weeks I've been like, dude, I am so busy right now. Work has been nuts.
Andrew, he messaged that to me too. We were going to play earlier this week, but
I'm so busy.
but no, I think what I was going to say about that I like about your deck, either this build or however you've tweaked it. I love decks where there's like a lot of just kind of like vague synergies that
Mhm,
like
exactly.
right, like the Karmic Guide, or even just a synergy between Hermit Druid and Psychotog,
Yes.
right? Like there's just a lot of things where like A will go with B, but A will also go with C, and A will go with D, and then C will go with D, and C will go with E, and it's like
100%.
it's a Phil Nguyen special.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's you just hit the nail on the head. That's why
Yeah.
I love it too.
Yeah,
Because, like you say, by having a Karmic Guide, which is a card
Yeah.
that regular FEB never runs because it never needs,
Mhm.
but I have it for one of my possible combos.
yeah,
And then when the game does not go according to plan, it can be an absolute like game changer,
Pro
as
Black.
it was. Well,
Yeah,
that was kind of more of a straightforward case of using the
Yeah.
Karmic Guide.
yeah,
However, I'm trying to think. There was one game at the in-person tournament where I ended up basically using. I think what I did was I used the Karmic Guide. I used the Karmic Guide because it had Pro Black. I can't remember the exact reasoning, but that ended up being the relevant part of the Karmic Guide. But then also, most FEB decks don't run a Chroma anymore. They don't do the Fade to Chroma, and I get it.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
clunkier combo.
yeah,
However, just having an Achroma, being able to sometimes Karmic Guide an Achroma in.
hmm yeah.
I
looking
remember
at
what
your
it was.
Go ahead.
I Karmic Guided because, as we were saying, Unearth is really, it's critical that I have Unearth as the reanimate spell because I
Yeah.
almost never need it to be higher. It would have been relevant when I had that Crater Hellion if I had the Shallow Grave.
After I
instead
cast
of-
the Negator, I was filled with regret.
Yeah,
because I
yeah.
realized.
But what point was I making? Oh yeah, I used a Karmic Guide to bring a Triskelion into play to
Yeah.
kill the meddling mage that was
Oh.
naming what I needed to go off. So it's just like so many crazy things can happen.
Do you even need the Devourer Trike in there?
Absolutely.
It just feels like you have so many other ways
no.
to go up.
No, that is by far the best win with this deck.
Yeah.
And
It's hard to find
the
a place to
Hermit
stick a stick
Druid-
in the spokes. It's like as soon as you're at that point,
Yeah.
it's like too late in momentum.
Exactly. It's unstoppable.
Yeah.
If you have everything lined up properly, you win, and there's nothing they can do to stop you.
When you pitch the Devourer, when you pitch the Devourer in the yard to go get the Trike,
Correct.
can't someone plow the?
So this actually
Shapeshifter
happened
then?
in that tournament as well, and the answer is yes. However,
Yeah,
if I suspect that is the situation,
you just therapy first.
well, I either A, have the Trike in hand first.
Okay.
Because if the Trike is already in my hand, when I'm
Sure.
pitching to make a Devour, you plow in response, then
Yeah.
I just say, all right, in response, activate Devour, and then when I'm ready, drop the Trike.
Yeah.
This came up in the
Well,
tournament.
no, because you've already discarded the Devourer, so you can shapeshift your Devourer.
Because
Okay, yeah.
that's what makes the win
Yeah.
so unstoppable. The fact
Sure.
that the survival is part of the cost putting
Yeah,
it in the
yeah,
yard, and it is not part of the resolution.
Yeah.
So I just get it in immediately. So what happened was I was playing against the Rock, and I went to do that because in my head I hadn't fully worked this line out. Had I worked it out, I would have gotten the Trike already. But I hadn't fully worked it out. I had Hypnoxed him.
Okay.
So he had one draw because I couldn't kill him that turn. He had one draw, and I just kind of figured like he didn't get the Vendetta. So I pitch the Devourer to get the Trike on my turn next.
Yeah.
He responds with Vendetta. And so that's when I had to kind of work this line out. Thankfully, I had another creature in hand and I had
know
enough
it's going.
mana. What I did, I pitched a creature, I found a
Yeah.
Psychotog. I pitched the Psychotog.
Yeah.
Now Vendetta fizzles
Yeah.
because it's black. I
Oh.
use the Psychotog to remove itself and the other creature. Now I have Devourer back on top.
I was gonna say you could make the shapeshifter infinitely large or however large, and then he dies to his own vendetta,
So
right?
you're correct, and I just realized what I just said was the correct line, what I should have done.
Yeah.
But no, what I actually did, because I hadn't thought that through. Yeah, see, I've changed my own memory to I made the right play.
I hear you.
Instead,
Yeah,
what
yeah,
I ended up
Just found
doing
the smoke
was
ring.
I did start activating Devourer, and I wasn't even thinking about the fact that he would die too. I don't know why I wasn't.
Yeah.
But I did start activating it in order to get something. No, I think I did what you just said. I activated it to the point where he would have died from the vendetta. But then the reason I thought about the other line afterwards was if it
So
wasn't
that
a
is how he
vendetta,
died.
that is how he died. Yeah,
Okay.
that is actually the way I did it.
That's what I would. I mean, I've vendetted my share of dreadnoughts and stuff, so I know that vendetta pinches.
It can really hurt.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that is what I did in that instance. The reason I thought out like what's a better line was what if it wasn't a vendetta? You know, what if it's say a snuff out or
Well, so what else do they? Well, but Rock's not gonna play snuff out. Rock's gonna play edict. They're gonna play like
Edict,
smother. Yeah.
Yeah. So, it was that situation.
And shapeshifter takes on the casting cost as well, right? So smother's not necessarily gonna work.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Another great thing about it.
Yeah.
I think isn't there another spell where the casting cost is relevant? I think at one point I did something where I made it a high casting cost, like a Hypnox or something. Maybe not.
Is there one where you lose life based on the casting cost?
That's what I'm trying to think.
I have, I made that spreadsheet once upon a time. I can.
Yeah, the removal spell.
Yeah.
Were there any other questions, Andrew?
Nope, our audience is quite tiny. It could be me as one of them.
Yeah, like we said, the PSS is going on.
Yeah. I have one more question that I had a minute ago. Oh, with the Karmic Guide, the fact that it has Echo is like a benefit, right? Because then it goes into your yard and can trigger stuff.
Yes, exactly, and you just saw that.
yeah, that's what I realized. I didn't realize that before the match.
You saw exactly that. Same with the Hellion.
With the Hellion. Oh yeah, sure, yeah. I'm looking through my little list.
If I put the shapeshifter into play to get one of those echo creatures, then the next turn I need to have something else on top of my library, or else I have to pay the echo cost.
Yeah. Is there another card? No, with Sever Soul is the opposite, where the caster of Sever Soul gains life equal to the toughness.
Actually, here's a good rules question. I'm just running back that second game.
SWAT?
Andrew, what if I had cast the shapeshifter?
Okay.
And then after that discarded use the shapeshifter's pay 2 mana to discard ability to put the Hellion on top of my graveyard. Would I then have to pay the echo cost? Because it did come into play that turn. My gut says yeah.
Wait, say that one more time.
I've heard of. Yeah, I've seen this before.
Discarding it during the upkeep.
So I play a shapeshifter. Okay. The Hellion is not in my yard.
Okay.
I use the shapeshifter to discard the Hellion. The Hellion is now in my yard. The shapeshifter is a copy of the Hellion. The shapeshifter was the creature that came into play that turn. It wasn't a Hellion when it was cast. However, it is now the Hellion with the complete text, and part of the text being if this. I believe that works because it's the same logic behind what is it? There's one interaction that I'm thinking has like kind of the same thing. Oh, it's the same logic behind one of the possible things you can do with this deck is you can activate the Devourer a bunch, not let them resolve, and then change the creature so that it won't get the death trigger for having a huge power toughness.
So actually, so this is, I feel like this has come into play before. I want to say with like Avalanche Riders or Bone Shredder or something.
It would be
And my
Probably Bone Shredder
understanding,
because it's played in FEB a lot.
my understanding, I think if I remember this correctly, was that like when the creature is cast, it creates the Echo creates a delayed trigger that says, at your next turn, pay this or the creature dies. But the trigger like is put into motion when the
okay. I
creature.
see what you're saying. So it's a
ETBs.
crater. You're saying it's a crater
Well, the
Hellion.
That was
reason
my
my gut-
understanding.
The reason my gut says not that is, let me look up an Echo creature. Crater Hellion is a great one.
Avalanche Riders, Hermit, Multani's Acolyte.
I'm looking up Crater Hellion because I really wanted to cast it
Elden
against your negator.
Vandals.
Simian
At the
Grunts.
beginning of your upkeep, here's why I think that.
Gideon
At the
Grunts.
beginning of your upkeep, and this is the Oracle wording.
Yeah, if it came
If
into
it
under your
came
control,
into
yeah, I see it.
play under your control since the beginning of your last upkeep, sacrifice it unless you pay its Echo cost. That doesn't read to me as
Came
when this
into
creature comes
play.
into play, next turn you must pay this.
Because it's like a look back instead of a look forward.
Exactly.
Sure.
So I believe that would have worked. And the reason I am asking this is because on Monday morning quarterbacking, I had the Unearth in hand. Well, you know what? You just kill the Shapeshifter. Oh wait, no,
Yeah.
you didn't have Master Quest.
No,
in the game.
you whipped
Okay,
my hand
so
off.
what I should have
Hand
done,
apart.
I should have cast the Shapeshifter.
Mm-hmm.
I should have pitched the Hellion.
Mm-hmm.
I then next turn have to discard or have to bin
Let the
my
let it
Shapeshifter
go,
because I can't
yeah.
play it. Unearth the Shapeshifter that turn, the next turn, and get the Hellion trigger.
The ETB trigger. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's what I should have done.
And that would have gotten rid of. What did I even have out?
So
I had the Negator out. So you'd force me to sack everything. Yeah.
You
Well,
had Negator out. I forced you to sack 4. You could keep
you had
the
like 8 or
Negator.
9 things at the time.
Yeah.
You
I
had 4
Negator,
lands.
I had a
No,
bunch
he
of
didn't have 8 or
land.
9. No, that was the turn he was mana screwed. That was the game he was mana screwed.
No,
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
watching.
had
He had 4
Negator.
mana for sure. Negator.
Right, 4 mana.
But I didn't have
Arena?
any other
You
permanents.
had,
have Arena?
You had the Plague.
No, Arena was game 3.
You had Plague.
Plague.
Oh, I had it Plague. Yeah.
You had Plague.
I
So
swear you have one
bin
or 2
either
more
all
lands.
your I mean, at the
Yeah.
very least, it keeps me alive a turn. It destroys
Yeah.
some of your stuff.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
if I had made that play, I maybe get that
Yeah.
game.
Maybe.
I
I mean, it would
was
depend on
down
how reactive Gabe is. If he's like shit, or if he's like shit.
At
Like, you
that
have to
point,
think about it.
but I had a few cards in
It
hand.
would depend on.
Yeah.
But it would really depend on if I had another creature in hand, which I did not. I would have needed to draw another creature in order to change it because then I have to sacrifice it next turn anyway. You leave the Negator as one of your last permanents. I have to lose it to the Echo, and then you just win. So it only buys me a turn, but it loses all your lands, possibly the Plague.
Well, truth be told, I think I had another threat in my hand, maybe.
So you maybe even bin the Negator, leave 2
Yeah,
lands.
yeah. I would, but I think I want to say it was a Spectre, but I probably wouldn't have had enough land.
That would
cast
not.
it.
Yeah, the right play would have been to keep the Negator out.
Yeah.
But maybe you didn't know that because you wouldn't have known that I didn't have another creature to change it and not lose it. So I don't know.
Did I have a Swords in hand?
And that's the funny thing about this deck. You spend so many days after realizing you could have won a game.
Yeah, or lost a game or whatever. Yeah. I wonder if I might have had a Swords in hand, in which case maybe just plow my own Negator.
Mm-hmm.
That would be funny.
Yeah.
Get you 5 life.
All right.
Negator because I was at 20. Yeah.
I think we've bored our 2 listeners to death. Do we want to drop off?
This has been amazing.
Yeah,
I
dude.
think you
Good
have a
luck on the rest of the tournament. You're in
Thank
the
you.
top 4.
I think you have a fantastic deck, and
Thank you.
it gives me a headache just thinking about it, which is why I never play it.
Of course. And yeah, if you ever want to chat more about it, I love talking about it.
Yeah, you know I always ping you.
Mhm. All right, guys.
So,
Have a
All
good
right,
one.
guys.
take care. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.